Hey everyone, Reddy Linx here, and hello Topsy Turvy,
Hey man. Hey y'all, by the way.
and welcome back to another Reddy Linx's Choose Your Own Adventure live stream, number 18. This this live stream's book is Trapped in Batwing Hall. For those of you who are new to this series, me and some guests will try to get one good ending in these books with 3 tries. So if we get 2 bad endings, that's okay. But the third ending, that's it. So this is number 3 in the series. It's over 20 endings. So without further ado, I'm going to read the Beware page and see what's in store for us. Beware. Do not read this book from beginning to end. Making friends in your new town is harder than you thought. The kids in your school are members of the horror club. They have their meetings after dark in Batwing Hall, a rundown house that's haunted by the ghost of Professor Krupnik. When the horror club decides to play a spooky game, you really want to join in. But then you find out you'll have to search the professor's cursed crypt in the cemetery, or face an ancient mummy, and a witch, and a hungry werewolf, or the terrifying ghost of Professor Krupnik himself before the night is through. You're in control of this scary adventure. You decide what will happen, and you decide how terrifying the scares will be. Start on page 1, then follow the instructions at the bottom of each page. You make the choices. If you make the right ones, you'll have a really cool adventure. If you make the wrong choices, beware. So, take a deep breath, cross your fingers, and turn to page 1 to give yourself goosebumps. So it looks like we'll be playing a game in some sort of like haunted house.
Yeah, it seems like we'll be trapped as well, but wait, is it called Trapped in Batwing Hall? Batwing Hall? Or,
Yes,
yeah, yeah, yeah.
but
Seems we'll be forced. Go on.
it seems more like a haunted house possessed by a now deceased professor.
Yeah, true.
Well, either way, I'm gonna. All right, we're starting the book now, and let's get to it. All right, page 1. This town stinks. It's Friday afternoon, the end of your first week at your new school. Your family just moved to this town last month, and so far no one at school has even tried to be your friend. Day after day, you sit in class waiting for someone to talk to you, waiting and staring at all the strange faces around you. How can you possibly go through the year without any friends, you wonder? You're cool. You know you are. You had tons of friends at your old school. You trudge home slowly. All you have to look forward to is a boring weekend of watching TV with your parents and your bratty little brother. That this is the because this was the 1990s. This was all they had.
I see.
All right. Then something hits the back of your jacket. You whirl around. A pebble drops onto the ground. You glance up and notice a brown-haired boy about your age. "Hi," he calls out. "I'm Nick." "Hi," you reply and introduce yourself. "We're in the same class. We're at the same class at school," Nick says. That's funny, you think. You don't remember seeing him there, but you smile anyway. You're so happy someone is finally talking to you. "I live there," Nick tells you. He points to a 2-story green house on the next block. You gaze back at him, shocked. "But you can't live there," you exclaim. "There's no way." Go on to page 2. "What do you mean I can't live there?" Nick asks, laughing. I know my own house. I live next door, you tell him. You point to the red brick house next to the green one. The green one has been empty all month. There hasn't been any lights on, no cars in the driveway. I was on vacation with my family. We got back last night, Nick says. What do you think of school? It's okay, I guess, you reply. You're afraid to say anything more. You never know. Maybe you never know. Maybe this new kid, Nick, actually likes school. Can you believe how much homework our teacher gave us this weekend? Nick complains. He kicks a stone down the street as you walk. The kids who had a Mr. McCrumnick, Mr. Cormick, last year, says he's really tough and mean, a total monster. You agree. The next thing you know, you and Nick are comparing favorite rock groups and comic books. Both of you who collect Spider-Man comics. Nick has all the first issues from from the last 5 years. Too. Comics are cool, Nick says. But do you know what's even cooler? What? You ask. Horror stories, Nick exclaims. In fact, I. He stops talking and stares at you. Turn to page 3. What? You ask. What about horror stories? It's probably way too scary for you, Nick replies. There's too. Nothing's too scary for me, you boast. That's because you've never been to the horror club, Nick says. What's that? Nick grins. It's a club I belong to. You've got to be really brave to be a member. When we meet, we tell scary stories. Really scary stories. Cool, you reply. I love scary stories. Can I join? If you think you can handle it, Nick says. We meet every Friday night at Bowing Hall. That's the deserted house at the dead end of our street. It was old Professor Krupnik's house. I've seen the house. It looks haunted, you tell Nick with a laugh. Don't laugh, he warns you. It is haunted. Hurry to page 100. Haunted? For real? You ask. For real, Nick replies seriously. That's why we picked it. Some of the scariest stories I've ever heard happened in Bowing Hall. Like what? Like the story of the kids on Halloween night, Nick says. They were all dressed up trick-or-treating. They rang Krepnik's doorbell. A figure dressed in all black answered it, and the kids were invited inside. Only they never came out. What happened? You ask breathlessly. Nobody knows, Nick replies. But late at night, you can still hear the kids. Screams, horrible screams. And when the moon is full, some people say they've seen little creatures in monster costumes roaming about inside the house, trapped forever. Wow, great story, you say. It's not a story, Nick tells you. Being a member of the horror club can be dangerous. Very dangerous. He pauses, then adds, Today is Friday. We meet tonight. Do you want to come? What do you think? Alright, we're given our first choice. Risk it and go to the horror club tonight, or say thanks anyways and go home.
Hmm. I don't think this is. Wait, hang on. But this ain't a bad decision either way. But like, isn't the point of the whole thing to go to the horror, like to the house, the hall or whatever it's called?
Yeah, it is.
Yeah. Not saying it's the wrong decision, but like
But again, I am curious what happens if we just say no. We never
Yeah.
chose no in these stories.
Huh. Yeah. Actually, for a change, yeah, let's say no. But because I know like these first choices are not usually like death sentences for us, so like.
I say we, for the first time ever, let's say no to these adventures.
Yeah.
So you just see what happens.
Mm-hmm.
Say thanks anyway and go.
Mm-hmm.
Any objections?
Nope. I think we're all good.
Alright, let's say thanks anyway and go. Page
Mm-hmm.
91. Great choice. Now you're stuck at home with nothing to do. Sure, you can clean out your closet or play stupid board games with your little brother, but that doesn't change things. You still have no friends. You're still bored. But wait, you have one last chance. You hurry to the big yellow phone book. You look up Nick's phone number. You grab the phone and dial. It rings and rings, and then you hear Nick's voice. Hello? Finished your conversation on page 17. Okay, so it doesn't matter. We just go to the page. We just go to page 17 anyway.
Int- Interesting. Mm.
All right. So so yeah. All right. The horror club sounds great. You tell Nick. Count me in. I'll meet you in the front of the house at 9 o'clock tonight, Nick says. You agree and say goodbye. Then you rush into your kitchen to find your parents. You tell them you've made a friend, and you've been invited to a club meeting. They're so happy for you. Of course. You don't tell them that the meeting is in a distorted, boarded up old house. At 9 o'clock, you join Nick under the elm tree in the front yard. A skinny, fidgety girl with messy, long, dark hair waits with Nick. This is Debbie, he tells you. She is a member of the club, too. Hi, Debbie says. You can barely see her face under all her thick hair, and she always seems to be squirming about. You wonder what's with this strange girl. You follow your new friends up the hill to the end of the long, dark street. The further you go, the fewer houses there are. At the end of the road, all the street lights are out. The sky is pitch black. If it weren't for Nick's flashlight, you'd probably trip over your own feet. There it is, Nick says, pointing. Batwing Hall. Turn to page 96. Right. A huge dark shadow looms at the end of the street. It's the mansion. You stop walking and gaze up at it. Nick shines his flashlight at the old house on the hill. Batwing Hall is a two-story, old-fashioned house. All the windows that aren't boarded up are broken. Loose shingles flap from the roof. Paint peels from the weathered sides of the house. It looks as if no one has lived here for hundreds of years. You climb up to the sagging porch with Nick and Debbie. Tall, overgrown trees and bushes cast eerie shadows across the distorted lawn. Isn't this place awesome? Debbie whispers to you. Really cool, you agree. This house has been empty for 2 years, Nick tells you. Since crazy old Professor Klopnik died. No one will buy it because it's haunted, Debbie explains. You notice she's chewing nervously at the ends of her long hair. Yuck. The front door was boarded up until we figured out how to pry it open, Debbie says. She points to the large wooden door. Let's go. You take a step forward. Stop! Nick shouts. Get down! Now! I were given a choice. Listen to Nick or ignore him and head for the door.
Mm. Uh. Okay, we just met. Wait, we just didn't we not just meet him? He's not like trustworthy in my opinion yet. Huh.
I mean, we were going towards the door. Nick is telling us to get down.
Hmm. I guess we
Should we
should.
listen to him or just ignore him and head for the door?
I think we should listen to him, but like because
Yeah,
he has. Yeah.
he clearly has some experience.
Yeah, and he's been living here. Like he's been here longer than us, so like he clearly, like knows the ins and outs of this place, you know.
Let's let's listen to Nick.
Yeah,
We don't have any experience whatsoever.
true.
And if this is wrong, we still have three more lives. We still have two more lives after we lose a life.
Mhm.
All right, listen to Nick. What is it? You cry as your body hits the ground. We've got to be careful, Nick whispers. If anyone catches us going in the front door, we could be in big trouble. We're not really allowed in here. You nod and watch Debbie as she squirms and glances around nervously. You wonder why your new friends are so jumpy. You can't imagine how anyone could possibly see you in the darkness. But you figure Nick and Debbie know what they're doing. You stand and follow Nick and Debbie across the porch, keeping as quiet as possible. You pull off the broken boards on the front door. You enter the dark house. The air in the entryway is stale and dusty. You hold back a sneeze. Nick motions for you to follow him. You creep after Nick and Debbie down a dark hallway. The floorboards creak loudly with each step. Then you enter a big, dimly lit living room. A broken chandelier sways from the ceiling. The faded wallpaper hangs in pieces from the walls. Dirty sheets cover what appears to be old sofas, chairs, and chairs. And then you see them. Turn to page 75. Four kids sitting in a circle on the living room floor. A big yellow candle flickers in the center. They all turn and stare at you. No one seems happy to see you. You stand awkwardly as Nick introduces you and says, "This is our newest member." "What are you talking about?" cries a girl with short curly red hair. She glares at you. "I've brought a new member to the horror club," Nick repeats. "Not today," exclaims a large boy with bulging arm muscles. "Why not?" Debbie asks, squirming next to you. "Didn't anyone tell you?" asks another girl. "Tonight's the special night. You've got to get that kid out of here. We're not telling stories tonight. The plans have changed." Discover what's happening tonight on page 128. Nick and Debbie quickly leave your side and huddle together with the other kids. You can hear them arguing about you. Then one voice raises above the others. "But today is the game. No, it's the game day. You know what that means." "I don't," you suddenly call out. You're sick of standing there. You want to know what's going on. It works. All six kids stop arguing. The girl with red hair steps toward you. "I'm Marcy," she tells you. "There are no stories tonight. We're playing games instead. But new members can't play. It's the rule." "Can't you break the rules just this one time?" you ask. "These aren't ordinary games," warns the boy with large muscles. "These games are really, really scary." "The scarier the better," you announce bravely. This starts another argument. Some kids want you to stay and play, others want you to leave. Debbie hurries over to your side. Through her mane of dark hair, she whispers, "Go home. Go home now." But at that moment, Marcy announces, "It's decided. You can stay and play games with us." "Great," you say, ignoring Debbie. "What are we playing?" Learn about the games on page 66. "The game is called The Hunt," Marcy tells you. "I am captain of the blue team. Nick is captain of the red team." You watch as Nick picks Debbie and a skinny boy named Connor to be on his team. Connor has short, bristly hair and and a very strange smell. As Connor walks by, you decide he smells as if he's been lying in a dumpster. For the blue team, Marcy chooses a beautiful girl with long blonde hair and green eyes. Her name is Laura. She smiles shyly at you. Marcy also picks the guy with the muscle shirt. Hi, I'm Martin, the kid says, pounding you in the back on the back. Welcome to the horror club. He laughs, then flexes his big muscles. You step back. Martin's arm is bigger than your whole body.
That's 3 of each team,
Marcy announces. Our new member can join either one. She turns to you.
it's up to you. Which team will you join?
Would you rather hang out with Nick, Debbie, and Connor on the red team? Or get to know Laura, Marcy, and Martin on the blue team? Alright, we're given a choice. Join the red team or the blue team.
Ooh. Okay, I think there's nothing saying that the red or blue team are worse or better. So like,
Well,
but,
the red team consists of Nick, Debbie, and Connor, who is
yeah,
described as smelling like trash. Connor is described.
yeah.
Uh, and the blue team consists of beautiful Laura, brave Marcy, and muscly Martin.
Hmm. I'm gonna say blue
I'm
team.
suspicious of that Connor. What if
Yeah,
the Beware page said something about an ancient mummy, a witch, and a werewolf? What if Connor is one of those in the skies,
yeah. Good point,
judging by his
actually.
foul smell?
Yeah, but then you can say that about the people on blue team. Like you can say like the muscly kids like the mummy or something. I don't know.
Either way, I say we join the blue team. If
Yes, same.
usually when red and blue are when we had a choice of red and blue, we chose blue one time and we survived. I say
True.
let's join blue.
Yeah.
All right, we're joining the blue team.
Welcome to the blue team.
Marcy says with a smile. Glad you're on the team, Martin adds. He crushes your hand in a heartly handshake. So, what are we playing? You ask.
The game is called The Hunt.
Laura tells you. What are we hunting for? You ask. Marcy's voice drops down to a croaking whisper.
The creepiest, most terrifying things we can find.
Marcy says. Wait, she says. Sorry. Laura says. Sorry. All right.
It's
We
alright,
vote
man.
on
Don't,
which. Okay.
don't keep going. It's alright, man.
All right. We vote on which team finds the scariest stuff. Martin explains. If you haven't chickened out by then, you'll become an official member of the horror club. Don't worry about me, you say. I love a good scare,
Come on,
Laura says.
let's get this game going.
You follow your teammates outside. Marcy goes first. Her flashlight beam bounces around the overgrown yard, making weird yellow shadows. You begin scanning the yard, but Martin stops you. Not here, he says. You're the newest member. You have to pass the test. Test? You don't like the sound of that. Martin grins and points across the street. You go there. The cemetery. Turn to page 106. Something's not going to go right in the cemetery. Anyways. They want you to search the cemetery all by yourself? You're about to say no way, hey Jose. Then you figure that's just what they expect you to do. You'll show them. Great, you declare. I bet I'll find the winning object. You even kind of mean it. After all, if the game is won by finding the scariest stuff, then your teammates just handed you an easy score. What better place to look than a cemetery? You give your teammates the thumbs up and hurry across the street. The cemetery is really old, and most of the gravestones are chipped and crumbling. As you stumble over the lumpy grave, you feel something grab at your ankle. You yelp and jump back. Phew, it was just a gnarled root. Root. Voice crack. The moonlight casts an eerie glow, creating strange shadows. You carefully make your way toward a small building. There's just enough light for you to read the words Krupnik Crypt carved in the stone over the doorway. Here's your chance to impress your new friends. You know you will find something. You'll find something scary inside a crypt. But do you have the nerve to enter? Find out on page 69. You approach the heavy door of the crypt. Inside of a doorknob, it has a thick iron ring. Chiseled into the stone above the ring are these words: Who turns the stone will grow back bones. What could that possibly mean, you wonder? A sudden movement draws your attention. Near the top of the crypt, you see a small hole, about your size. While you watch, a tiny bat flies out of the hole and flutters off into the night. Outrageous, you think. Maybe you could catch a bat inside the crypt. That would win the contest for sure. But how will you get inside? The door is covered with cobwebs, obviously. It hasn't been opened in a long time. Maybe you could climb to the top of the crypt and crawl in through the hole the bat came out of. Or maybe you should just try to pull the big stone door open. It might work. Which will you try? Alright, we're given a choice of how to enter this crypt. We can either
Hmm.
crawl through a hole in the roof or just try opening the stone door.
Hmm. Hmm. Okay. Okay. Wait, we don't know what's inside other than like bodies and stuff. Well, it's a crypt, so that's where they like store people, I guess you can say. Uh, hmm.
But then again, should we try getting in through the hole in the roof or just by opening the crypt door?
I think opening it. I know. I just don't like the idea of the whole like jumping through the hole because we have a chance of like hurting
Yeah, we
ourselves.
could
I
get
guess you could say.
we could possibly get stuck up there.
Yeah, exactly.
Let's just open the door.
Yeah, agreed.
All right, let's
I
open the door.
yeah.
You step up to the door and grasp the ring in both of your hands. It's covered with rust and cobwebs, and you have a feeling it hasn't been moved in a long time. You pull on it, and then the thing won't budge. You clutch the ring even tighter and put all your weight into it. A hideous screeching noise fills the air. What is making that ghastly sound? Slowly, the heavy stone door swings open. Holding your breath, you tiptoe inside. You see a large casket sitting on a stone platform in the middle of the dark room. For a moment, you can't move. You stare at the casket and think, there's a dead person in there. A dead person. Yikes! Something just grabbed at your hair. You push it away and gasp. A bat flutters off into the darkness, its fangs glinting in the moonlight. Maybe catching a bat isn't such a great idea, you decide. You quickly search the tomb for scary stuff to bring back to your teammates. But you find nothing except dust and cobwebs. With a final glance, you leave the tomb to rejoin your friends. There's only one problem. You don't see them anywhere. You're all alone. Go on to page 93. Laura, you call. Martin? Marcy? The only answer is the wind rustling through the trees. Your eyes search the cemetery, but your gaze falls only on the crumbling headstones. You glance across the street at the mansion, but it's completely dark. Has everyone gone home? Another bat flies by, and you decide not to wait around. You race out of the cemetery and head for home. Later that night, you don't feel very well. Your shoulders ache and your fingers feel stiff. Maybe you're getting sick. You you hope not. You don't want to miss soccer practice. You climb into bed and drift into a troubled sleep. When you awaken a few hours later, it's still dark, and you feel even worse. Maybe a drink of water would make you feel better. As you get up, you notice that your hands seem to be very stiff. You glance down and see something dark between all your fingers. It must be the shadows in the room, you think. Your feet don't seem to be working very well, but somehow you make your way to the bathroom. You reach up to flip on the light, but the light switch isn't where it's supposed to be. Instead, it's 3 feet above you, and the bathroom mirror is even higher. What's going on? Hurry to page 124. This is some beware of the purple peanut butter kind of stuff.
Yeah,
But
true.
this we're probably something else.
Yeah.
Somehow, since you went to bed, your bathroom has grown 10 times its normal size. Or you've shrunk. I must be dreaming, you think. You climb up to the bathroom sink and stare in the mirror. The face gazing out at you from the mirror isn't your own. It's the furry face of a small, hairy creature with a short nose, huge ears, and tiny white fangs. It's the face of a bat. You wink your right eye, and to your horror, the bat in the mirror winks at you at the same time. The bat in the mirror is you! No! You scream, but it comes out in a tiny squeak. This can't be real, you think. It's got to be a dream, right? You try to pinch yourself, but you can't work your bat fingers. You continue to stare at your reflection, horrified. How could this have happened? You think back over the last evening. You try to remember every detail. You hung out with your friends at the old horror club. There was a contest to find the scariest thing, and then you remember something else. Something that sends a chill down your furry little back. So we have been turned into a furry-faced vampire bat. Things immediately took a turn for the worst. You remember the Krupnik Crypt, and the only living creature you saw was the bat that flew out of the tomb. With a gnarling fear, your mind plays over the words carved in the crypt. Who turns the stone will grow back bones. You should have realized it was a warning, but no. You have to go ahead and turn that stupid stone. That must have been how this happened. You try frantically to remember everything about the crypt. Only little detail that could help. You picture the crypt and suddenly recall that you'd left the stone door open. Maybe if you turn the stone again, closing the door of the crypt, you'll be transformed back. Should you return to the cemetery now? You're not sure you can even find it in the dark. Or would it be better to go to sleep and until the morning? Maybe when you wake up, you'll be back to normal. We're given a choice. Return to the cemetery now or wait until the morning.
Okay. No, because wait, how? Because don't bats not like come out at night or something? That's how it works, right?
Well, wait. What if this is a twist on the lore? What if because usually with some stories they twist on the lore, like it's not usually like that and it's like something else.
Maybe. Yeah, that is
Besides, have we
true.
have we even figured out how to use our bat wings or senses?
I guess not really. Judging by like how our main character is like, I guess you can say like slowly creeping towards the door, like they're struggling. I guess you can say to move and stuff.
I kind of want to wait till the morning, to see what happens. But if it is wrong, then that's on me.
Fair. Yeah, let's do that. I guess.
All right, we're gonna wait till the morning. See if we turn back after some sleep. You wake up the next morning in your own bed, feeling normal. You scrunch your eyes tight and raise your hands to your face. You're almost afraid to look. You count to 3 and force your eyes open. Hooray! No more bat wings. Your hands are back. Everything has happened the night before. It must have been a dream. Terrible dream. You rush to the bathroom and examine your face in the mirror. There's no trace of whiskers or fur or big bat's ears. You've never been so happy to see your goofy grin. You brush your teeth, comb your hair, and get dressed, whistling the whole time. The whole time. Skip down the stairs and into the kitchen. The aroma of pancakes cooking fills the room.
How many pancakes this morning?
Your mom asks. 3, you tell her. You pour a ton of syrup on the stack and start to eat. But today, the pancakes don't taste good. They're too soft, and the syrup is too sweet. You can't help thinking they'd be better with beetles on them. I think I'll eat later, you tell your mom. Stand and slip up a jacket. You step outside into the bright sunshine and discover that you've made the biggest mistake of your life. Hurry to page 40. You stand outside and your skin feels like it's on fire. The sun's glare forces your eyes shut. You duck back inside, wondering what's happening. Then you try going out again. The same thing happens. For some reason, you can't stand it. You can't stand to be out in the sun. With growing horror, the answer comes to you. You're still a bat. That's that's got to be it. You're in human form now, but the transformation must still be in effect. Bats, you remember, sleep during the day. They don't go out in the sun. You need some time to think. I have a headache, you tell your mom. I'm going back to bed.
Are you sick?
She asks. She presses her head against your forehead.
You don't seem to have a fever.
I'll be all right, you tell her. I just need to sleep. You go back to your room, you turn off all the lights and pull down the shades. Then you crawl back into bed and think about your problem. What are you going to do? Then the answer comes to you. Go to page 74. You've got to go back to the Krupnik crypt right now. Like your mom works on Saturday.
Are you sure you'll be all right?
She says, she asks, poking her head into the dark bedroom before she leaves. I'm fine, you tell her. Just tired. The second you hear the front door slam, you pull out a turtleneck, a heavy coat, gloves, dark glasses, and a hat that should protect you from the sun. Only it doesn't. You manage to get as far as the end of the driveway before your skin starts to blister. You'll have to wait until dark. That evening, you tell your parents you're going to a movie with a friend. From the window in your room, you watch the sun sink below the horizon. As soon as it sets, you turn to leave for the mansion. The floor has suddenly become very far away. You watch in horror as black hair sprouts all over your arms. Your fingers stiffen and black webs spread between them. Your mouth tingles as fangs burst through your gums. You hang your furry head as you realize the sad truth. You're a bat. Again. Flutter to page 92. So, here's what's happening. We turn into a human during the day, but
Yeah.
we have effects of bats like we crave we crave like beetles and stuff like that and can't handle the sun.
Mhm.
So we're basically a bat in human form,
Yeah, basically.
but we turn back into a bat during nighttime.
Yeah, I guess that's how it works.
Well, either way, we still haven't gotten a bad ending, so let's continue. All right.
Mhm.
You don't want to spend the rest of your life as a bat. You've got to get to the crypt. You decide to fly. Luckily, the window is slightly open. You duck through it and glide out into the cool evening air. You realize you need to practice using your wings. First, you try flapping, then you soar up and down. It's kind of fun, dipping and swooping over the backyard. You also like your cool system. Through your super bat's ears, you're able to hear thousands of times better than you could as a human. Insects sound as cars did when you were a kid. Something makes a flapping sound. To your right, without even looking, your sonar tells you it's a gnat. A thundering buzz, like the sound of a chainsaw. comes from a June bug. You cannot only tell what the insects are, you can tell where they are. Your sonar informs you that a large moth is fluttering in the trees just ahead. The thought of the moth makes your mouth water. You realize you're very, very hungry. A moth. You're going to eat a moth? To find out what a moth tastes like, turn to page 137. Your bat's stomach instincts insists moths are delicious. Following the sonar, you swoop into the tree and grab the insect in your jaws. Its body feels soft and powdery. The bitter flavor makes you want to hurl, but you're starving. Gagging, you swallow. Then you zoom after another moth. Then you finish your mothly meal. You fly straight into the graveyard in the Krupnik crypt, landing on the top of the open door. The door is bigger than you remembered. But then you're a lot smaller. You drop to the ground and try pushing against it. It doesn't move. Even an inch, you fly into it. But all that happens is you bruise your wings. What will you do as a bat? You're too weak to close the door. When you're a human, you can't leave the house. Then you think of your horror club team. Maybe you can get them to help you. But who should you ask first? Martin's the strongest, Laura's the friendliest, but Marcy seems the bravest. Quick, decide who to visit and fly to their house. Alright, we're given three choices. We can visit Martin, Laura, or Marcy.
Hmm. I'm gonna say Marcy. I don't know why. Like braveness seems better than.
Martin's the strongest, Laura's the friendliest, and Marcy is the bravest.
Hmm,
Martin's could be helpful for closing the crypt door because he's strong.
true.
One of these seems like a fail.
Yeah. It's probably like one of those like, two are the right options. One is like a fake or whatever. So, huh. Hmm.
Should we visit Martin the strong, Laura the friendly, or Marcy the brave?
I'm gonna say Marcy. I don't know. I don't know why, but I think
Marcy?
I just think it.
Or I'm kind of thinking Martin.
Hmm.
Should we do Martin or Marcy?
I don't know. I think Marcy. Because like, if she's brave, then she's probably there's a chance she's like strong as well. Like she doesn't really like nothing really scares her. I guess you can say.
Yeah, yeah, like and Martin. Okay. How about this? How about I spin a wheel and between Martin and Marcy, whoever that wheel lands on. Actually, I'm gonna spin. I'm gonna flip a coin. I'm
Hmm.
gonna flip a coin. How's that sound?
Yeah, yeah, that sounds good.
All right, I'm gonna flip a coin. You want heads or tails?
Wait.
All right, you're
Think
Marcy. I'm Martin. Do you
hmm
want heads or tails?
tails.
All right, heads we go Martin. Tails we go Marcy. It landed on tails, so I guess we're gonna go with Martin first.
Mm,
Ooh,
Wait.
okay, I'll get that coin later. All right, we're going with Martin first. If this is a wrong, don't worry. We have two more. We'll have two more lives.
It's alright. No, man, it's alright. We don't know what's gonna happen. So like, honestly, I think
All
it's
right,
just best to pick randomly.
all right. If this is wrong, we'll go to Marcy's house. All right. You know that Martin lives somewhere in your neighborhood. You fly around reading mailboxes until you find Martin's house, but your sonar tells you that no one's home. You decide to wait. You flit all around the house, peering into windows. Finally, you spot a room with posters from horror movies on the walls. This must be Martin's room. You fly in through an open window and perch upside down on the curtain rod. Some of you feel very comfortable with the floor over your head and the ceiling under your feet. You feel so relaxed that you start to doze off. The next thing you know, something is squeezing you hard. You open your eyes. A man with a brown beard has you in his fist, and he is crushing you in his grip. Look what we have here, he says in excitement. Be careful, Dad, cries Martin. Don't worry, Martin's father says. I've got the bat trapped. It can't bite me.
I'm not a bat. It's me.
You squeak. But they don't understand. What are you going to do with it, Dad? Martin asks. There's only one solution, he says, shoving you in a paper bag. Hurry to page 60. You flap your wings frantically, trying to escape the paper bag. It's no use. You're trapped. You feel the bag being lifted and carried through the house, down the stairs, and outside into the cool night air. You feel the slam of a door. Then you rumble in an engine. You're in a car. But where are you going? About 10 minutes later, the car screeches to a stop. You're picked up and carried across a winding footpath. Here we are, Martin's dad announces. Thank you so much, a strange, deep voice replies. It is always wise to bring lost wild animals to the zoo. We can't protect them here. We can protect them here. This bat will be much happier than all the other bats in the bat house. Bat house? Zoo? Is this guy serious? You wonder? Suddenly the bag opens wide and you are nudged out. You flap your wings, confused and disoriented. Then you hear a cage door click shut and the flutter of hundreds of bat wings. There are bats everywhere, swarming around you, swooping down on you. You head for a corner, terrified. A large bat zooms over and brushes up against you. You try to blend into the corner, but the bat moves closer and closer. Too bad. It looks like as if this bat is batty over you. The end. Wow.
Yeah.
So Martin's dad had a hold of us and put us in a paper bag and took us to a bat house at the zoo where we're forced to live with the other bats.
Ooh. I didn't expect that.
I mean, this kind of is a neutral ending because we can make friends as bat. We can make friends with the other bats.
True.
But yeah, this is kind of a neutral ending if you ask me.
Yeah.
All right, we still have two more lives. Let's head back and go with Marcy this time. All right, let's ask Marcy for help instead. You want Marcy's help. You swoop around the neighborhood looking for Marcy's family name on a mailbox. At last you find it. In front of a small two-story brick house, you peer into all the windows until you find Marcy alone in the living room. She seems to be babysitting her little brother, who is about 2 years old. You find an open window, then fly into the house. You're perched on a curtain in the living room. Below, Marcy and her little brother are playing a game with cardboard letters. Until you watch. While you watch, Marcy moves some of the letters.
Cat,
Marcy tells her brother.
that spells cat, Daryl. Can you say cat? I'm hungry.
The little boy cries.
I'll get some jello.
Marcy says.
See if you can spell cat.
She disappears into the hall. What luck, you think? The letters are small and light-weighted. You're sure you'll be able to move them yourself and write out a message to Marcy. You swoop down to the floor. The letters are in a big box. You start to sort. Though the letters through the letters. Then Daryl suddenly reaches for you.
Doggy.
He cries. He grabs one of your wings and pulls. Turn to page 42.
I'm not a dog.
You squeak at the boy. You pull away. He pulls back. Finally, you free yourself.
Doggy.
Daryl repeats as he reaches for you again.
I'm almost through.
She calls from the kitchen. You have to move fast. You grab a claw full of letters and fly to the other side of the room. Daryl starts climbing toward you. Quickly, you arrange the letters in the message. Help! Help me! I'm a bat. You place the last letter just as Daryl reaches for you. He grabs at you, but you fly up to the ceiling and perch on the chandelier. Marcy returns in the living room with a bowl of jello.
Here's something to eat,
She tells her brother. Then she notices the message.
Did you do that, Daryl?
She asks in amazement.
I can't believe it. You're a genius. It was me.
You squeak from the ceiling to let Marcy know you who wrote the message. You swoop down. She takes one look at you and shrieks. Then she grabs a fly swatter from a table and begins swatting at you. This is no good. Should you give up on Marcy and escape? Or try once more to communicate with her? Or we're given a choice. Keep trying to communicate or escape.
Keep trying. I don't know why, but just. Eh. I mean, I think she just weirded out. I think if you just communicate with her, she'll just kind of know we're back, kind of thing. I don't know.
Well, to be fair, she doesn't know where we are the bad.
Yeah, exactly. But but then again, I think this is like I think Marcy is our bestest hope. To be honest, in my opinion, I depends.
I mean, should we try to keep communicating with her, or should we try to escape?
Keep.
She's
I
got a
think.
fly swatter in her hand.
Yeah, exactly. uh, yeah. If she touches us once, We're basically like maybe not dead, but we're basically. I guess that's gonna hurt us a lot.
I'm not entirely sure what to do. I mean,
Mm.
you?
Still communicate. I guess. I mean, it's worth
All
a
right,
shot.
all right. Let's keep trying to communicate. Marcy chases you all over the room, swatting.
Stop.
You squeak,
I'm not a bat. I'm a human.
but she can't hear your words. How can you get her to recognize you? You glance at the cardboard letters on the floor and get an idea. You fake her out with a quick twist, then you swoop toward the letters. You grab an H and fly up to the top of a bookcase with it.
What's down?
Where she shrieks. You put it down, all right. You lean against a book where she could see it. Then, flying at as fast as you can, you snag the letter E and place the letter next to the H. Marcy still holds the fly swatter up, ready to hit you. But now she's staring at you curiously. Quickly, you add the L and the P to the H and E. You manage to spell help on top of the bookshelf. You hover near Marcy. If you could cross your webbed fingers, you would. Marcy gazes at the letters on the bookshelf. Then she stares at you. She glances back at the letters.
It was you.
She says finally.
It wasn't Daryl. You made the message.
You feel like cheering, but all you can do is squeak. Quickly, you swoop back down for more letters. Turn to page 50.
Can't believe it. A bat sending me a message.
Marcy explains. She beckons to you.
Here, bat. Here, bat. Let me get a better look at you.
Gratefully, you fly over to her, quickly as a cat. Quick as a cat. She grabs you and shoves you in a drawer.
Oi!
You squeak.
Let me out of here. This is so cool.
You hear Marcy saying.
A bat that can spell. We can go on TV. We'll be famous. No bat.
You cry.
I'm a human. Let me finish my message.
But Marcy isn't interested in your message.
I'll find a box to put it in.
She says that to herself. Your super bat ears hear her leave the room. A moment later, the drawer opens. Daryl's wide eyes stare straight at you.
Donkey.
He cries. Turn to page 32.
We will walk in.
You squeak. You crawl out of the drawer and swoop over the letters. Decide to spell out your name. That way Marcy will know the bat is really you. You start searching through the pile of letters. You hear Daryl moving toward you. You search faster. Daryl's toddling closer. But he's so excited that he falls down. You found the first letter of your first name quickly. You search for the other letters. You're just finished finding all the letters in your name. When Daryl reaches you, you look up to see him towering over you. He's about to lose his balance again. He reaches for a cabinet to steady himself.
Careful! You're going to pull that.
Crash! Whoops, Daryl pulled the cabinet over. Unfortunately, it was very heavy. Even more unfortunate, you were directly underneath it. Too bad. Now you won't even get to be on TV. Unless they come up with a show called Flat Pet Tricks, the end.
Damn.
So we tried to we tried to communicate, but she was excited about a bat who could write, kind of like Charlotte's Web. She and when she was going to get a camera, Daryl accidentally knocks over a shelf and crushes us.
That was just random. Holy.
Jerk move by Daryl.
Like, okay, so we got outbeaten by a 2-year-old. Wow.
Well, to be fair, it
Oh,
was an accident.
yeah, true.
So I guess our only bet is escape.
Yeah,
Now we only have one life left. We haven't had one life in a while.
true.
All right, all right. Let's try to escape. You've decided to escape. Marcy's aim is too good with the fly swatter. You swoop out of the living room as fast as you can. Marcy's right behind you, chasing you down a narrow hallway. You come to a dead end. Desperately, you try to duck past her. The open window you used before was in the living room. No way you'll get back. You'll get back. No way you'll get to it now. You squeak again. But now it's hopeless. But you know it's hopeless.
Come back here.
Marcy shouts. She swats at you again, brushing one of your wings. You stagger against the wall and almost fall to the ground. You gotta escape from here. You gotta escape from her. You spot a staircase leading to the second floor a few feet ahead. To your left is what appears to be a kitchen. Quick, choose an escape route to get out of here. So we have a choice. We can either fly upstairs or into the kitchen.
Ooh. Huh. Yeah, because wait, how so? Okay, both really good options, but what if I think upstairs is better because like what's usually in a kitchen, like knives and stuff. Knives.
Or we yeah, I'd say flying upstairs is the better option.
Yeah. Yeah. Like there's like knives, cooking pots, like stuff you can fall into, yeah. It's just dangerous.
Or she could use one of the stuff like a bread box to close us in.
I guess, yeah, true.
All right, let's fly upstairs. You swoop up the stairs as fast as you can. Marcy's right behind you. You fly into a bedroom. From the crib, you know it must be Daryl's room. Next to the crib is a basket containing stuffed animals. There's a stuffed dog, a zebra, a gorilla, a frog, a cat. It has it has one of the words. I'm not going to say it because obviously, but a frog, a cat, and several stuffed teddy bears. It's the Pussy. I can't say that. I'm not gonna say it for obvious reasons, but yeah.
I
And
understand,
several
man.
stuffed
Go
what?
go on. I understand, man. Go on, it's alright.
A pussy cat.
Oh, I see.
And several stuffed teddy bears. There's no time to think. Quickly you flop down into the basket with the other animals. You stay completely still and try to look cute. A moment later, Marcy tears into the room.
Where did that bat go?
She shouts angrily. She stops and gazes all around the room. You hold your breath.
Humph.
She snorts.
You must have gone into my parents' room.
She turns and leaves. You don't waste a moment. Quickly you fly toward the window. It's open just a crack, but a crack is all you need. You squeeze yourself through the opening and fly into the warm evening breeze. You're sure you'll have better luck at Laura's house at least. You hope you will. To get to Laura's house, fly to page 118. So we hid in a bunch of stuffed animals like E.T.
Mhm.
and after and we fully escaped Marcy, and now we're off to Laura's house. So
Interesting.
maybe Laura was the right option after all.
Yeah.
All right, well, let's see. All right. You fly through the neighborhood checking out mailboxes. At last you find a mailbox with Laura's last name on it. You glide up to the house, and you see Laura sitting on her bed with the phone beside her. The window's open, but you don't want to fly in and freak her out. You land quietly on the windowsill. When she's not looking, you sneak in and perch on a picture frame above Laura's bed and watch. She punches a number into the phone.
Hello, Marcy, she says. It's Laura. Uh-huh. Right? I've got a cool idea. Can you meet me at the mall tomorrow? Great. 3 o'clock. At the fountain. Okay? Bye.
She hangs up and punches in another number. This time she talks to Martin. She tells him to meet her at the mall. To now, she meet at the mall too. Now she punches in another, shorter number.
Hello? Information? She says. I like the number of someone who just moved into town.
She tells the operator your name and writes down the number. This is great. Laura's going to call you. You like her best of all the kids you've met. Finally, you're making new friends in this town.
Right here.
You squeak from the picture frame. Turn to page 67. 76. Honestly, that was a stupid idea. I would have kept quiet if I was myself.
True. Yeah, same. True.
Right.
What's that noise?
Laura cries, glancing up, and then she sees you. She shrieks. She jumps off her bed and tears out of the room. A moment later, she returns with a big can of bug spray.
Get out of here.
She shrieks. She turns the nozzle to you and presses her finger down on the spray button. You don't know if bug spray can hurt bats, and you don't want to find out. You swoop out of the window before the spray can reach you.
Don't come back.
Laura screams, slamming the window shut. You're so upset, you can barely flap your wings as you fly home. How are you even going to get anyone to help you? Will you have to remain a bat for the rest of your life? You slip into your room, wondering what to do. You flutter over to your bed. There's a note on your pillow from your mom.
Laura called. Meet her at the fountain in the mall at 3 tomorrow.
You immediately feel better. Laura invited you to the mall with Marcy and Martin. You've definitely been accepted by these new kids. Maybe they'll be able to help you. All you have to do is find a way to get to the mall without being fried by the sun. Will you be able to do it? Swoop over to page 133. So we're going to the mall. Laura
Interesting.
was the right option after all.
Mm.
All
Yeah.
right,
All right.
continue.
Yeah. Sure. Why not?
All right. The next morning, you wake up as a kid again. You're pretty sure you can avoid being toasted if you stay out of the sun as much as possible and really cover up. To be safe, you wear your hat, sunglasses, muffler, and gloves.
Why are you dressed like that?
Marcy asks. When you meet your friends at the mall, she and the others laugh.
Maybe you're wrong.
Maybe they were you were maybe we were wrong about you, Martin teases. Maybe you're too weird for the horror club,
Why are you wearing all those clothes?
Marcy asks again. You better rethink this. You'd hate to lose the only friends you have. My mom, you say, rolling your eyes. I'm getting a cold, and this is what she did to me.
My mom's the same way.
Laura agrees sympathetically. You'll have to wait for a better time to tell him the truth. So, what's the plan?
Let's check out the new science store.
Laura suggests. I'd rather go to the movies, Martin says. Dracula's about to start.
Let's Let's let the newest member of the horror club decide,
Marcy says, turning to you. Or give it a choice. We can either go to the new science store or see Dracula at the movies.
Uh, Science. So I mean, we're trying to reverse us coming a bat, I guess you can say so. I'm
I don't think Dracula, that's kind of foreshadowing. Like, that kind of seems fitting for us, kind of.
yeah.
I personally say we go to Dracula, but if you have any objections,
Actually, now thinking about it, that's actually I don't think none of these are bad endings. So yeah, sure, why not?
all right, let's see Dracula. Let's go to the movie, you suggest. It will give you time to think of a way to ask for help. You line up for tickets and popcorn and settle into your seats.
This movie is supposed to be really scary.
Laura says with a shiver. As soon as the lights start to dim, you feel a familiar ache in your shoulders with horror. You look down at your hands. The webbing is growing in between your fingers. I'm going to the bathroom, you murmur, and quickly jump out of your seat. The next instant you're a bat. You can't stay in the aisle at the theater where someone's going to step on you, so you fly up to the ceiling. Down below you hear laughter. Look at that! Someone cries. A real bat! It must be part of the movie. What a publicity stunt! Someone shouts. Will you tell your friends the truth about what happened to you now? Or would it be better to show them back at Batwing Hall? Or we're given a choice. Tell our friends that we're a bat now, or or tell them at Batwing Hall. Tell them now, or
Mhm.
think it's wiser to show them.
I think it's wiser to. I think it's wiser to like. Huh, huh, huh. Wait, so because remember what they tried? Because remember what Marcy did? Like she tried like swatting us and stuff.
And Laura did try to spray us with bug spray, but we were able to escape on time.
Yeah.
Martin didn't really do anything. His dad was mainly the one who tossed us in a paper bag.
True.
I I think it's better to show than tell. As we know from experience, we can't really talk in our bat form.
Yeah.
Sure, we can talk, but it's more of like a squeak.
Yeah. It's not really it's not really like discernible, I guess you can say.
All right, so I think it's better we show them. Let's go to page 45. You realize the truth sounds too batty. Besides, it will be a lot easier to prove what will happen if you're already at Batwing Hall. You fly outside into the light and instantly transform into a kid again. You wait for the movie to finish. Then you meet your friends at the lobby. Why don't you have a special meeting of the horror club just for the blue team? You suggest. I've really got a story. I've really got to tell a story, and I have one that's really scary.
Good idea, Marcy says. The mall is boring. I have to go home first.
Laura announces. Me too, agrees Martin. We'll meet at Batwing Hall in an hour. It's cloudy, and you'll be able to ride the bus almost all the way to the mansion. The sunlight only stings a little as you make your way up the hill to the old house. Your friends better arrive before dark, you think. You know how tough it is to get anyone to listen to you while you're a bat. You glance up at the cemetery and shudder. That's where all your problems began. You breathe a sigh of relief once you passed it by, but your relief doesn't last long. Halt! A voice rumbles. You could have sworn you felt the ground shake. What do you do? Are we given a choice to either freeze or run away?
Hmm. Ooh. Uh. Okay. So wait. So wait.
We're walking to Batwing Hall until we hear
Oh,
something shout halt. Last time we survived. What
yeah.
if we hold still and it was a trap?
Mm, yeah, good point. I think I don't know. I'm gonna just say run away, but I just think, but like then again, you could say they're faster than us, but then I
Let's
mean,
let's run away this time. Last time we listened and we survived. I said we run away this time.
fair.
Let's be disobedient.
Hmm.
You run to the mansion as fast as you can. You don't want to find out who or what would make a sound like that. When you've put some distance between you and the voice, you glance back. Nothing. Maybe you were just imagining things. Just to be safe, though, you quickly pull the boards away from the door and enter Batwing Hall. You find a good spot to hide, behind a tattered armchair. Why take chances? You curl up and wait your aching muscles and wait. Your aching muscles tell you you've been sitting there for a lot longer than an hour. Peering through the smudgy windows, you can see the sun has dropped, low on the horizon. What if your friends don't show up until after that you've turned back into a bat? Turn to page 14. Then you hear laughter and footsteps. You jump up from your hiding spot and peek out of the window. Marcy, Laura, and Martin are standing on the porch. You rush outside. Sorry we're late, Marcy tells you, but we stopped for pizza. Want some? She holds the pizza box out toward you. Normally, triple cheese with extra pepperoni would make your mouth water, but today it smells disgusting. You're more in the mood for moths. No thanks, you say. You have no time to lose. Listen, you've got to come with me to the cemetery. You grab Marcy's arm, but she yanks it back. I know I'm acting weird, you explain quickly, but there's a reason. The other night at the graveyard, something happened. I was transformed into a bat. Right, Laura cries. And I became the bride of Frankenstein. It's true, you insist. Martin snorts. Great story, he says, laughing. Yeah, Marcy agrees. Why don't you save it for the next meeting of the horror club? It's not a story! Try practically yelling. You are practically yelling. In just a few seconds, the sun will go down, and you'll never be able to explain. Go to page 82. You watch horrified as the red sun sinks into the distance. At the same moment, you feel hairs sprouting all over your body. Your shoulders start to ache as your arms turn into bat wings. A moment later, you're hovering over the heads of your friends. Laura lets out a scream. Marcy's jaw has dropped open so wide you can see her fillings. Martin looks impressed. Did you see what happened? Marcy exclaims. The story was true. I wouldn't believe it if I hadn't seen it, Martin says. Did you say you need our help? Laura asks you. She seems frightened, but almost concerned. I need some help. I need you to help me close the crypt, you'll squeak. But they can't understand your bat language. How can you get them to help you now? You start to fly across the street toward the cemetery. Your friends only watch you puzzled. Maybe it's hungry, Laura suggests. Should we catch some insects for it? Frustrated, you fly back to your waiting friends again. Fly toward the cemetery. Again, you return. I know what it's doing, Martin says suddenly. Can Martin help you? Turn to page 46. I think I know what it's doing, Martin repeats. You must be practicing flying. It looks it looks kind of cool. I wish I could be a bat. This is ridiculous. You're starting to get mad. You fly back across the street, but this time you keep going. You head straight for the Krupnik crypt. It wants us to follow it, Laura guesses finally. You knew you liked Laura the best. She runs after you. The others follow close behind. Soon all four of you are gathered in front of the crypt. I wonder why it led us here, Marcy asks. They all stare at you expectantly. How can you make them sound How can you make them understand that the door needs to be shut? You hover over the dreadful words. Who turns the stone will grow back bones. Marcy watches you, then peers at the words.
Maybe the crypt has something to do with the transformation.
She asks.
Yes,
You squeak.
that's it.
But of course they can't understand you. How can you get them to close the door? You land on the metal ring on the door, or fly into the crypt. Alright, we're given a choice of how we can explain to them that how to explain to them. Land on the door handle or fly inside the crypt.
Ooh. Uh. Okay. So wait. Well, like I said, I think is the hole could be like there could be stuff in the hole, but like I guess you could fly
But this time
in.
we're not a human anymore. We're a full-on bat.
Yeah, we're smaller. We're smaller. We're more compact, and we're like I guess you can say lighter. So I highly doubt there's going to be like anything like on the floor that's going to be able to hurt us, kind of thing. And plus, it did say, because remember in the I forgot what his name was, the strong kid,
Martin.
mine. It did say because when we was on the window, the the window ledge, it did say like we like to. I forgot. Huh. We, we liked having like a floor above us and a floor below us, so like I guess you can say it's gonna be better for us if we go in.
So we're flying inside the crypt.
I guess. Well, I mean, judging by that ending, I guess why not?
Alright, we'll fly inside the crypt. I hope this is right. This is our last life. You decide your best bet is to fly into the crypt. You hope your friends will get the idea to shut the door. First, you swoop around the door to the crypt.
What's it doing?
Laura asks her friends.
I think it's trying to tell us the door's important.
Marcy says.
Yes.
You squeak. This might actually work. You fly into the crypt, then you fly out again. Martin cries. I get it. We're supposed to close the door. You squeak happily and nod. You fly out of the crypt and watch while Martin grasps the ring, then pushes the door. Clang! The door slams shut, but nothing happens. Then you feel a tingling sensation in your wings. A moment later, you're standing on the ground. You're a kid again. Hooray! It worked!
Cool.
Marcy says.
But where did Martin go?
You glance all around, but there's no sign of your friend.
Oh no.
Laura cries.
Look.
Your eyes follow where she's pointing, and you see a large bat above your heads. It's fluttering very strangely, as if it doesn't really know how to fly. Uh-oh. Get the bad news on page 56. Uh, I think that's Martin, you tell Laura and Marcy. The three of you exchange a glance, then stare up at the clumsy bat. There's no doubt about it. Martin turned the ring, and he has been transformed.
How can we turn him back into a kid?
Marcy asks.
How about we open the door again?
Laura suggests. She reaches for the crypt door. No! Cry. We don't know what will happen. But it's too late. As soon as Laura opens the door, she vanishes. But Martin is still a bat.
Where is Laura?
Marcy cries.
Ribbit.
You look down at your feet. A small frog is hopping to you.
Ribbit.
I think she's been turned into a frog, you reply.
This is terrible.
Marcy cries.
What can we do?
Go to page 23. Maybe there are instructions inside the crypt, you say. You enter, and now you see more writing on inside of the door. Somehow you never noticed it before. Warning. Do not use the power of the ring more than once per year. Results can be unpredictable. You point out the words to Marcy.
Oh no, she cries. What can we do now?
You gaze at your changed friends sadly. Marcy seems to be better at flying now, but Laura is having trouble hopping. I think we'll have to wait till next year, you tell her. Marcy hurries across the street to the mansion and returns with an old shoebox. Carefully, you put Laura and Martin into it. Don't worry, you say to them. We'll be able to turn you back in a year. And in the meantime, we'll take very good care of you. Now all you have to do is figure out how to tell your mother about your strange new pets. The end. Wow.
Yes. Wow.
We while we turned back into a kid, but now Martin and Laura are stuck as a bat and frog for the next year.
Holy. Oh
I
my god,
mean,
yeah.
at least it's not forever. They can at least be turned back, and plus we get to keep them as pets.
Yeah,
I say that's a
exactly.
good ending.
Yeah, agreed, but like, holy, I feel bad for both of them.
Don't worry, I'm sure we took great care of them.
Yeah.
They're truly gonna thank us for that. But we're gonna have to do some explaining with Laura and Martin's parents.
Yeah.
Well, either way, I hope you guys enjoyed this Choose Your Own Adventure of Trapped in Batwing Hall. This was truly something. Next time is Ship of Ghouls, which looks like it will take place on some cruise ship. Remember to like and subscribe for more content like this. And in the meantime, I hope you guys do well, and we'll see you in the next one.
I
Goodbye!